King and Yates, they bridging the gap. From the US to Dubai, put pins on the map. Ball is life, and that's a fact. And a baller's life, about that exact. King and Yates, they bridging the gap. From the US to Dubai, put pins on the map. There's a time to score and a time to assist. Ain't no I in team, let the winning commence. From generation to generation, game don't stop. The new and old school got the game on lock. It's all legendary, it's all necessary. We all been all-stars before February. And after that, King and Yates, after racks. But really trying to get some wins, not just padding stats. Two basketball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Hold on. My fault, KG.
Listen, they bridging the gap. They bridging the gap. They.
What we doing?
Oh, shit.
What we doing? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Big dog. Season 4. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's a loud one because we did not know we would be here. So let me say it now. Thank you, big dog. Thank you, because I already know how this goes. Season 4, we're here, BTG Nation. You know me, Young OG, Ryan Yates, A Yates on Instagram. You got the triple OG over there, JK, Jupac, Coach JK14 on Instagram. A huge presence on Instagram lately. Posting once every 12 months. We out there. OG, man, talking to the mic. Tell us how you feeling, man. Come on, gotta get to the mic, man. I know it's new dig.
Listen, man, you're supposed to carry this, right? I'm supposed to just, give my little 2 cents here and there. You know what I'm saying? It's the first episode of the first, for the 4th season for us. And we in the middle of the grind right now, and I'm a little tired, low energy, but I'll pick it up as we go.
Hey, OG.
You carrying everything, man.
77 right here. It's 77. 77. And now I will say this. You just mentioned, I have noticed ever since we started podcasting, there's a lot of stuff popping up in Dubai.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of stuff popping up.
We're definitely influencing some people.
It's some people doing some things they seeing here. And, we know the influences out here. A lot of you guys aren't that creative either. You're just doing a lot of copycat stuff. All of you guys recording in the same place. And so bring some sauce to it.
Right.
If you're going to do it right, man. Do it right. And so here we are.
Be yourself.
Here we are. Sometimes it's hard for some people. But, for our audio listeners, they know we wanted to add a little sauce to the vibe. Do something a little different, because we said we were bridging the gap. We said we would bring something that, the area had never seen before. We said we would make sure that we showed us culture. And we got to stick with it. If y'all didn't know, the last 6 or 7 episodes last year, the audio listeners got their own little prize. Right. We started to add a little mix, a special mix from our guy, DJ Lee Bueller, who is live from the States right now. And we still carrying it on with it. So, OG, without further ado, let's set the tone for season 4.
You are now tuned in
to
the world's famous Lee Bueller.
We will be here. We will be here forever. Do you understand? Forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Don't play with him. Don't play with him. You know how.
Listen, they bridging the gap.
King,
they bridging the gap. They.
How your energy levels feeling right now?
That's a good start.
We did, right?
That's a good start.
We did. BTG Nation. We back, man. We back. We on the goal. We got a goal set. We ended the season last year with 76 episodes, and we're trying to get to 100.
Yep.
That's the goal for the year, to get to 100. We don't care about anything else. Whatever comes with it, comes with it. But for us to knock out 100 while we're doing what we're doing out here, and to give 100, it's basically 100 moments to share with the youth. For the youth that are here that we're trying to mentor, it's 100 pages, 100 books, 100 podcasts, whatever you want to call it, that you always can go back to. And 100 pieces, that's a good thing to leave to the world.
Right.
We can left something. So with that being said, we got to get a little update on our baby. You guys know what it is. Hoop Mountain Dubai, Hoop Mountain DXB, Hoop Mountain AE, live here in Dubai where we are. That's our new home. OG, man, this is what, year 5 after the red shirt year? going on year 5 because
Going on year 5.
20 next year.
Start 2019.
Yeah. So let's give them a little insight on where we at.
Man, it's so much, you know what I'm saying? So much positivity that I don't even know where to begin. You know, we can talk about like, you know, we're at a spot now where we desperately need to bring a couple more coaches in.
A couple.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure we can, handle all the influx of new clients and the new programming that we're offering and stuff, and more teams. I mean, we're doing great right now.
Yeah,
great. Despite a lot of obstacles that we've had in the past and the everyday stuff, we're in a great place right now, and the sky's the limit, man. We just got to keep going, keep grinding, and keep working these kids out, and seeing the progress, man.
Man, because it's a hell of a journey. It's a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
To be in the space where we almost got to turn kids away.
We have been turning kids away,
and that's at every location.
Yep.
Because after COVID, one of our better locations became one of our least attended locations.
Yep.
And now, since we've gotten back in a groove there, it's flooded there as well.
Yep.
And the beauty of it is that the family atmosphere we've built,
mm-hmm.
the people around us are feeling it. So they're starting to reach out and stretch their antennas to different spots and pull in people for us. So Thank you for that. Let's give those people around the applause. Because, man, we're nothing without them.
And definitely let's talk about, or just mention that when our kids come to practice, our parents hang around and watch.
Yes.
Because we've had several parents say we've learned a lot as well.
Yes.
Not in just terms of basketball, but in terms of community, and parenting, everything, because we have a family environment.
Yeah.
And our parents want to be involved, So we had the parent game last year. Now we got to have 2 parent games this year. One for the moms, one for the dads.
Yeah, and we got a lot of new dads, and it's also encouraged for our parents to stick around and watch, right? And so back everywhere, somebody's parents always asking why my kid doesn't play or doesn't do that. The only people that ever ask that with us are the ones that don't watch practice.
Correct.
And the ones that do watch practice, when they come to the games and coach or I are yelling at their kid to do something, the parent is yelling at them to do the same thing because they've sat in practice for 2 hours and heard us say it, show them, and then do repetitions, and they still did it wrong in the midst of it. But that's how it goes, man. So I'm excited. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of things going on, but hey, we're here. And so I got to set the tone. At the end of the season last year, Aunt Lisa, shout out to Aunt Lisa, she always sends me little reels and videos throughout the week that she finds interesting or motivating. And she sent me some stuff before that I think kind of sets the tone for some of the topics we're going to talk about today, but it's also something that everybody hears who's around us. All the youth that are around us hears this all the time. And so this is a little message here.
One of the most mind-blowing concepts I've ever discovered. The primary difference between people who succeeded at a very high level,
always got this damn
people
music.
who live mediocre lives. People who succeed focus on intention and ignore distraction. People who fail and struggle and live mediocrely, those people, they focus on distraction and ignore intention. Winners quit being distracted. What is distracted? Anything that you give attention and intention to that does not move the needle in your favor. Kobe Bryant became Kobe Bryant because he focused on intention and ignored distraction. Michael Jordan, same. This is one of the most...
Now, we are in the land of distraction. We are in the land of distraction. And where their intention may be spoken externally, they may say their intention is to be a great basketball player,
right? To
be a great this, to be a great that, right? But the distractions are what really draws their attention. I mean, just today alone, we got some kids missing camp for certain things. We got kids missing all these things. But these are kids who verbally give us a statement saying, hey, I want to be a dog. I want to be this. I want to be that. That's how we're going to set the tempo. That's how we're setting the tone for today. And so to jump into the topic right here, I'm going to get you with, it's a lot to talk about too. My mom been hitting me for like the last 2 months, like, yo, when y'all getting back in the stew, when y'all getting there, my boys hit me. He says, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And It's hard to get to everything. So we're just going to start with some of the things that we keep an eye on, right? And so, Big Dog, you got the bucket hat on. So I'm going to start off with Coach Prime. Let me start off by... He caught a lot of flack for that move from Jackson State to
Power 5.
the Power 5. And they said he had abandoned them, and they talk about who was ready and who wasn't, blase. You know, right now, currently, where they stand at 4-3?
They're 4-3.
Right.
With, of course, they just had a disappointing loss.
Two of them.
Past weekend. Well, you know, the USC one, that's one where they weren't projected to win or even close, and they made it a hell of a game.
Yeah.
They ran out of time. But the Stanford loss, that's one that hurts because that's one the coaching staff knows that we're supposed to win now.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I made a mistake. The Arizona State win was a bad win.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. It felt like a loss, but it was a bad win, which carried momentum into the Stanford loss.
Right. You know, Coach Prime, man, first you talked about people being upset that he left Jackson State. Well, a couple things came out. One, you didn't appreciate him. Two, you didn't work with him. So what do you expect? And it's a situation where you can't be selfish because anytime someone gets an opportunity to go to a better situation where they can affect more people, you got to go. And that's what he did, So you have to appreciate that person for the time that you had him and say, hey, man, we wish you the best.
Yeah. And he did bring dogs. Now, between Edwards, the running back, Shador, his son, Shiloh, and of course we know Travis Hunter and a couple other people he brought from Jackson State. These guys have been performing. And now Coach Prime has only been a winner.
Yep.
Only been a winner. And so he still expects to win.
Yep.
Right? Even with the place that he's got into. But they won 4 games.
Right.
Last year they won what, King?
One.
The year before that, somewhere like 2.
Yeah.
Maybe they won 4 at most. If they win 2 more, they're bowl eligible.
Correct.
And this is a place where he's got 83 new players. He hasn't gotten his time to recruit yet, but immediately the culture changes. Right? But let's talk about the culture that's changed.
Okay.
Because it's not typically like a regular coaching culture that changes. Because everybody that coaches brings in a new expectation, new system. But this just changed the entire state of Colorado, the state of college football, and just the way recruiting is done, and then how the players get their NILs.
Right. It's the culture has been changed primarily because somebody coming in and actually saying what they think. A lot of coaches take jobs. I've had jobs like that where there's a lot of stuff I think and I know what I want to do, but I'm not going to say it publicly. He comes out and whatever is on his mind, his heart, he's going to let you know. And sometimes it's hurtful, to the kids, but at least they know where he stands.
Yeah.
He's honest with everybody, and what he preaches every day is how he lives his life. That's how he treats everybody, whether he's on campus, at home, whatever. And so, the culture is just like there's an expectation for how you're going to conduct yourself each day. And we expect to win.
Yeah.
We're not here just to, win to get 500. We're here to win.
And King, he had Wu-Tang there.
I know.
He had
everybody there.
He had Wayne performing like in Colorado. And I remember all them people talking about, let's see if you can get all that participation, That athletic director knew what he was doing when he said, Coach Prime, you got the keys to do what you want when you get here.
Yep.
And he's walking around with the Coach Prime Letterman jacket, smiling like you saved my job for the next 15 years.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to watch. Yeah. And Coach King is the college football expert up here. So when we talk about it later, because we're gonna start talking more about that, because we do have insight on that, and we want to introduce a little bit more of that to our people here and our expats that listen. Yeah. Shout out to Colin and a lot of those guys.
Me and him gonna watch the Penn State game coming up.
Yeah, so we got to get there. So shout out to that. But we got to get to the basketball situation now, right? There's a lot going on in the NBA. There's a lot going on in the NBA. Dame Lillard to the Bucks.
Blockbuster.
What other trades we got? We got a new guy back here helping us. We ain't gonna tell y'all his real name. I'm just gonna call him Snipes. I'm just gonna call him Snipes until he can get there. But Big dog, look up all the trades, all the updated trades and everything. We're gonna talk about Dame into the Bucks and what that means. So Dame to the Bucks, DeAndre Ayton to Portland, Grayson Allen.
Whoa! Ayton's gone.
Ayton,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ayton is gone to Portland. What's his name? Nurkic to Phoenix, along with Grayson Allen to Phoenix and Nasir Little to Phoenix.
Phoenix just came up,
and they already had Eric Gordon. And a few other pieces and a couple pieces they got from Brooklyn that came in. And so it's looking crazy over there.
Wow. Nurkic is such an improvement for Ayton because he'll fit into his role.
Man, you know, they got Bo. They got a couple other people that fit in over there too. And so, but big. And so all that, they lose Grayson Allen. And of course, Drew Holiday goes to Boston.
That's hurt. That's going to hurt. That's hurting Milwaukee. Because he's an integral part of like the heart and soul of the team. But Boston, that's a big pickup for them. Man,
especially because they lost Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
And now Boston picks him up and they keep Kristaps, but Boston did lose Robert Williams.
Oh, that's
big. That's monster. That's monster.
Can't lose him.
But the thing is with him, when you look at it, is that he was injury prone too. So you look at it, you might have said you paid 40 games with him, 40 games without him. You still got to where you got. And so if you're not sure he's going to be there, because they traded Brogdon away too. Malcolm Brogdon went to Portland. Right? And so Portland got a pretty good squad to go around them young bucks over there to help them grow.
Right? But you can't get rid of the young guy. I know he's injury prone, but you don't have a replacement for him.
Yeah, they're going to have to go fishing. But this is where we start talking about the U.S. landscape of grassroots basketball, not grooming bigs.
Right.
We saw it in FIBA because Jaren Jackson soft as hell. They couldn't get it, but we don't have many options of bigs.
Right.
Not because we don't have big bodies, right? But we don't utilize them anymore. We don't value them anymore because everybody's copycat.
Right.
And now look at us. When we need size around, we don't have anybody that's versatile or that's been taught how to do back to the basket, score within 15 feet, and then you can still pick and pop.
Right. Big guys the last 10 years have been losing jobs where they typically would be millionaires because they're not getting picked up because they're not valued. And they're not valued because they're out there doing stuff that they can't do at a high level on a consistent basis. And so, it's a disservice to our bigs, it's a disservice to our basketball. And, it'll come back, eventually, but it's just, we definitely have to stop being a copycat.
Man, yeah, and we say that all the time. But with that being said, with understanding the balance of powers now, with Dame in the East, with Philly having this trouble, Miami couldn't get Dame, Boston getting its upgrades, and then in the West Coast, obviously the Nuggets, but they lost Jeff Green and Bruce Brown. Oh, yeah, they lost.
I've been completely away from this stuff, man.
Yeah, so they lost Jeff Green and Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown went to Indiana for more money.
More money, okay.
Jeff Green went to Houston. So Jeff Green, Dylan Brooks, and Fred VanVleet got added to that Houston team. Yeah, so that changes. And, Houston, they also got rid of Kevin Porter Jr. as of last night.
Oh, because of
the incident.
Of course.
Even though his girl, he just got a couple counts dropped, and then the young lady came out and said that a lot of those claims are false. The damage is done.
Yeah.
Because he already had too many chances.
Yeah, too many chances.
And it's sad because that boy got game. But they got some rookies that they snagged in. And so, me, I'm calling it right here. Lakers in 6 against anybody. We're going to get another ring. Only if, the same thing I've said the last 4 seasons, only if Anthony Davis gives us an MVP year and all defensive type of stuff. So you got to play at least 65 games. I know. 65. That's what I'm going with. Because I love our team. I love the Jackson Hayes pickup. We resigned everybody we got from the trade. We picked up Gabe Vincent. We picked up Christian Wood. And then we also picked up Cam Reddish and Torian Prince. So and then our rookies got better. Our rookies from the last 2 seasons and stuff, they got a lot better. And we got depth. So I'm like, we got a chance. And we got continuity now. And so I'm looking for us to be top 3 in the West and get back to championship caliber, right? But I can't lie. Phoenix scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, Phoenix is tough now.
Phoenix is crazy. Phoenix is crazy. So what you got? What you seeing right now? Without your input or your little investigation that you've done, what you seeing so far?
The East is the same usual suspect. You got Miami's still going to be a threat. They didn't get Dame, but they're going to be a threat. But Boston and Milwaukee, one of those two will come out the East. Philly is done. They're done.
We'll get to Philly for sure.
Embiid's not going to play with the same passions because he's not going to be happy. West, Nuggets, and Phoenix for sure in the mix. And Lakers are always in the mix if AD plays the right way. That's it, Those three, man.
But now one of the things we talked about too was who's going to handle the rock for Phoenix. Now, one of the things about Phoenix that was pretty cool, and I got to catch on to as I watched this stuff, is that towards the end of last year, like the last 40 games, D-Book had the ball in his hands and he was initiating the offense.
Right.
And then through those 2 years that he was with CP was teaching him how to play off the ball and on the ball and still be able to get his space. And I've been watching the preseason and the reads he's been making off the screens. Mm-hmm. D-Book gonna have a hell of a year. Mm-hmm. And D-Book and Paul George been having a little spat. And they say there's smoke when they see each other. Like a little personal beef.
About what?
Because D-Book a real killer. And remember him and Clay had a little rift during the season. And Clay was on PG's podcast. PG asked him about it or whatever. And I guess D-Book felt like he was trying to bait him into saying something. Oh, and D-Book said something. And so PG got on the Taylor Rooks show. Whenever dudes get in front of Taylor Rooks, they start talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he said, I don't know what he took it personal, but, he said what he said, so it's up when I see him. That's what Paul George said.
Come on.
I'll tell you this.
You mean pandemic P? Listen,
I'm taking. I think the real killer in the room is Devin Booker. Now you know how much of a fan I am of Paul George's game.
That's your guy.
Devin Booker is a killer though.
Right.
I think there's a difference. I think there's a real difference in that, and so it's gonna be fun to see. But I'm watching him, and then I'm thinking about the fact that somebody who led the league in scoring is going to have the third best defender on him every night, and Bradley Beal. Like he just made somebody fall last night in preseason because they had somebody that don't normally play defense having to guard him because who gonna guard Book, who gonna guard KD?
Right.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Bradley Beal plays once it gets down to the wire, though, because in Washington he's playing with house money. Yeah. Now everything counts.
Shit, what's more than house money? Hey, man, that shit ain't right out there. Man, I talk to my bro all the time, and I'm going to say this to anybody that's listening. If you are a Wizards fan, nobody will blame you if you jump ship. Save yourself. This is coming from a 20-plus year-long Cowboy fan. I ain't watched a game of football since 2016. And my life has been less stressful. And I'm watching all my friends as football fans and Cowboys fans go crazy right now because of how Dak is playing. Same thing with DC. You know what you're going to get from the Wizards.
Yeah.
It ain't happening, man. Just let it go, right? And so you mentioned the Clippers earlier. And you mentioned the Sixers. And you said the Sixers is just done for.
Done.
Why are they done?
Their star is going to be disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
He's the second star now.
He's a guy that's already, he's dealt with injuries. He's dealt with immaturity. He's dealt with being in shape. He finally comes through, has a good run, and then the other guy just decides to flake off on him.
Yeah.
So, he's thinking like, what is management doing right now? What are you going to do to put me in a situation where we have a chance?
After losing Jimmy Butler.
Yep, after losing Jimmy Butler.
And that's somebody that Embiid wanted bad. Right. And now you got Harden who, as I said before, and King, you and I have had private conversations, and I said it multiple times, the scrutiny and flack that Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving got as players and as people And they always, no matter what, when it was time to play, if they were there to play, they were showing up.
Right.
Now, when Kyrie didn't come and didn't come to work, however you may have felt about it, it didn't have anything to do with him not getting his way as a player. He was taking a political stance. He was taking a personal stance. But whether we agree with it or not, it was bigger than the moment in the space.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
He never had a donut.
Yeah.
That's all. He never had a donut.
Never. When he showed up to the gym,
yeah, you knew he was there.
He was there. Russell Westbrook had issues with playing styles, but never effort.
No, yeah.
Never effort. He was always there.
Something.
All of his teammates always said the same thing. Yeah. He worked his ass off. It was just bad fit.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't look at his legacy and be like, yo, this motherfucker wasn't this, wasn't that, la 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 la. He was always there. He never quit on his team.
Never.
Now, Houston, you're the man in Houston.
Right.
You're not getting what you want. I don't know if it's extension or whatever. You force your way out of there. Not only do you force your way out of there, you force your way to Brooklyn with Kevin Durant, and later comes Kyrie Irving, right? Situations get a little You force your way out of there midway through. Say, I need a chance to win.
Right.
Where do you go?
Go to Philly.
With Embiid. Yep. Two best big men in the world, Joker and Embiid. Yep. Most dominant is Embiid. You don't have a better pairing like that. Who else gets to play in their career, right? They get to play with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, yep. Russell Westbrook again, KD again, Kyrie Irving again, and now Joel Embiid.
Right.
Who gets to play with that?
Right.
And force your way out.
Every time. And then complain about what you're not getting or what you are getting. Right.
Now you want to force your way out again to get to LA, to the Clippers. I don't know, King, if you can show me something or point me to something. Because, sometimes I see things one way and you got to open up the box for me. What is it about the Clippers that's saying, if I go there, we're going to win?
You seen Paul George and what's his name?
Kawhi.
Kawhi. He's thinking that I can be the missing piece, and don't get it twisted. He's also looking for a space where he can finish up his career too. And everybody wants to be in LA because Houston already turned him down. Yeah, because he wanted to go back there.
Yeah, he wanted to be a leading scorer in the league. That's what he said. So. That's what he said. I don't get it though. I can't see that being a good matchup. Like not even a little bit. Like,
listen, man, if you are a GM and you get a call from James Harden's agent and you take that call, something's wrong with you.
Yeah,
something's wrong with you at this point in your career.
Yeah, they say they got to trade him though, because the way he said it, I think he has to play, right? Because if he don't play, then he got to. And they say to his credit, he's shown up and he's gotten busy. He's gotten busy in training camp. He looks good, looks in shape, everything's professional. He's knocked out. It's just,
and he should be.
He should be,
because he, the way he got out of Houston, he showed up overweight.
And got hurt when he went to Brooklyn. Yeah,
correct. Yep.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm tired of seeing it. I don't know what it is you're trying to, like, what more could you ask for, my boy? If you just lock in where you at, you solid. There are also rumors, because they signed Kelly Oubre, and there are rumors that Kelly Oubre took his girl from his birthday party in Houston.
Oh.
And so now they teammates, and they said Daryl Morey did it on purpose because he knew. It's a lot of extra stuff. We never talk about it, but those NBA locker rooms get crazy. If you ever been in the locker room, period, you know how wild it gets.
Right.
And think about how an NBA locker room would get. It gets crazy. But, the Nuggets talking about they want to go for 3 or 4 titles. I don't know, big dog.
We say a lot.
We
We believe a lot. We dream a lot, but that ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not losing those 2 pieces for sure.
Yeah.
Those 2 pieces hurt. They lost. But that's what made, don't get me wrong, Joker is a monster. But what made them so tough to beat was the supporting cast.
Yes.
Supporting cast showed up, man. The dude, the guy that was traded from Orlando, came in and played a hell of a role.
Yeah.
You know, and then Jeff Green. I mean, you couldn't make up. You can't account for that.
Yeah.
As a coach, you know that Joker's going to do his. We can't. He's going to do a triple double. We know
Murray.
that. We know Murray's going to get busy. But the other dudes stepped up. You have no game plan for that.
Yeah. Now, I don't have too much to say about them. I think their window is their window. I think they did a great job of seasoning it, right? Because no matter what you say about what you want to do in the future, you got to take care of what's in front of you now. Yeah. And it ain't no telling what's going to happen later for them to get this spot right. Because a lot of injuries happened, right? For the Heat to get to where they got to. And then the Lakers ended up being the team they played in the Western Conference Finals. And, you know, our Lake Show was a completely different team from the season that started, right? Yeah. Now, what I think is a more intriguing topic right now in the league, and we would be remiss if we don't bring this up, right? Now, we take it across the water, right? Victor Wembanyama, French cat. He's here.
Let me have some respect to say his name.
Yeah,
right,
I don't know. It's Wemby. As everybody else say Wemby. I think I said it right, though.
Isn't it Wembanyama?
Oh, it's Wembanyama?
Yeah,
okay. All right, man. The French cat.
Picking the draft.
Yeah. My bad. I saw him with like a purple hairdo the other day, and it threw me off, right? But we saw Summer League. Summer League, he didn't look too hot the first couple of times, and he was brutally honest. I did like that about him. But he had a big game, then they shut him down. Preseason, he played against Chet. You know, Chet had 21, he had 18, he had some good moves. He had a couple moves in the next preseason joint where he came downhill, across half court, in and out cross to the screen and roll. The fallback man, the guy who was floating came, he gave him a cross to the left, stepped back and pulled up. Now, when I'm watching the move, I'm watching to see if he's going to trip or if he looked awkward. He did. He was moving different, King. He was moving different. I give him that. I still think that they're over selling him as the best prospect ever. But the dude do look like he's going to be a killer. He looked like he's going to be something. And we also know that he's going to get managed properly.
Yeah, he's in San Antonio.
He's going to be in the right space. You ain't going to see him on the box too much. You ain't going to see him doing too much. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. And I say that because we had a big FIBA conversation this summer. You know, everybody talk about world champions this and USA that, because we didn't even place. We didn't even medal in the World Cup here. But how do you feel about the USA basketball as a whole? Because it's different.
First of all, anybody that's outside the U.S. that takes that personally, that the NBA calls themselves world champions, everybody knows it's not literal.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that they say. But when you really pull back the covers, it's the best players in the world in that league playing for a championship. And therefore, if they win, then you could say that you are world champion. Now, are you, because you didn't get a chance to beat the best team in France or Italy or whatever, Spain, whatever, but you could see why they would say that they're world champs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, people say, okay, the summer, look what happened. Come on, man. Our guys weren't there. And then the guys that we had there, how can I say this? For anybody who makes $20 million a year playing in one particular league, that's 82 games a season, it's hard. It's hard to get you to go play during your off time in a game that's going to be meaningless to you down the road. Like, that's just how it is, man.
I think people need a history lesson too.
Right.
Because USA basketball operates different than how the other countries may put together their national teams, right? And so you had to give me the breakdown before the Jordan doc came out and everything. But USA basketball, that is first of all, it's a separate organization.
Right.
It's its own entity. Somebody else works that. Like, nobody from the NBA is obligated to go there. But USA basketball is supposed to be a developmental program for our youth, correct?
It used to be college kids only.
Yeah. And so, like, can you kind of talk about how that landscape was and then why it ended up changing?
So USA basketball used to be our college kids, and they started. The rest of the world started playing a little bit better, and then we lost a couple, and it was like, well, you guys are playing your professionals against our college kids, and so that's when they brought in the Dream Team, Jordan and those guys, just to show everybody that if we bring our real guys, that you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
And what we should have done was after Dream Team 1, 2, we should have just shut it down and just gone back to playing our college kids, just because so we can develop those guys. But it's just how people look at things. What do you want to do personally, professionally? If you play in the NBA, you're not going to concern yourself with playing in these FIBA championship games just because it's not paying your mortgage.
Yeah.
It's not providing for your family, and it's taking away from your main objective, which is playing in the NBA. Because if we sit, first of all, other countries, most of them force their guys to play.
Yeah.
That's not the case with the NBA, because like you said, it's two different entities. So our guys have to want to play.
Yeah.
And so if they don't want to play, then we end up taking our fourth level, fifth level guys, because the guys who went, don't get me wrong, those guys can play. Especially Anthony Edwards, who's a monster.
Now this brings me to my other point, because we still should have won.
For sure.
Right? Because Germany ended up winning, correct?
Yep.
And we beat Germany because they beat them here in Abu Dhabi, right? And that's when Anthony Edwards went off.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to another point.
Man, no, stop. Let me go.
Steve Kerr.
No. Hold before we do that. Man, stop with all this stuff with Germany winning, and because your starting point guard and the best player on the floor was Schroeder. Think about that now.
Wagner too, both the Wagner brothers.
But think about that. That was your best guy on the floor. So that tells you right there that it's not even a comparison to NBA talent overall to internet. It's just not even a comparison.
Yeah.
You're not taking the Denver Nuggets won a championship. So you're not taking the Denver Nuggets and playing the top team from France. Come on, man, stop.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Listen, but let me go back to the USA losing. Right now, you said this before, and I've had these talks with my guys in group chat. Who was coaching them, Coach?
Steve Kerr.
Now, we've said it before that we think Steve Kerr is overrated as a coach. We think that he may be an okay coach, a solid coach, but he is a coach whose legacy has really been blessed by circumstance, right? And we've been seeing it, and people are starting to see it that are Warriors fans with rotations and how people are developing and everything else. Now, one of the first headlines that came out during the USA camp was that he was going to bring Anthony Edwards off the bench.
That's crazy.
That was one of the first things he said, right? And then watching the rotations and things, because we had a problem rebounding, and we had the big big white dude from the Utah Jazz, big dude who didn't play that much, and he didn't even play with Bobby Portis or with Jaren Jackson. He was doing a lot of that small ball stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we'll look at like, okay, we didn't bring our top guys. But maybe Lou or Spoelstra should have been the head coach there, because things look a little different when you got leadership that really, really, really know how to work with whatever is handed to them.
Right. That's the thing. Like, I think Steve Kerr is a good coach. Now, can you say he's a great coach? We're looking at it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like getting a chance to coach the Warriors, you can experiment with all types of shit and be okay.
Yeah.
Just because they had so much talent. But, some of the other guys, they've had to coach with what they got. And this was a great opportunity for him to step up and get us in a better situation, this past summer. But, you got to play those guys. And listen, before you even think about the first USA team practice, Anthony Edwards ain't coming off the bench.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Don't even say anything like that.
Yeah, and look, he told Ant, he said something about, D-Wade came off the bench because Kobe can start. And he said, ain't no Kobe here.
Right.
Like, that's different, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that just shows a little something. So that's interesting. So all them people who started barking from different parts of the world, since you've barked, this is who you've woken up, okay? Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, Draymond Green.
Stop.
Hold on, I ain't done though. Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, Paul George, Kawhi, Bam, DeRozan, Levine.
Come on.
And Joel Embiid has chosen to get the U.S. passport over the French passport and said he will play for the U.S. in the Olympics.
So, and so now here
what we doing?
Now here we go with this shit, right? So if those cats play, and they're playing against Germany, and Germany started point guard Schroeder, like who wants to go to the Olympics to see that? This is what you do. I got my boys going next year to see it, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to take his wife. My boy Debo, Shantae, shout out to y'all. They going over there. They got to pay all this money to go see the Olympics. Nobody want to see that shit. You work all your life to go to the Olympics. You don't want to see them win a game by 50 points.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, now you're gonna get what you asked for.
Hey, look, and I can't wait. And I ain't even named like Donovan Mitchell or none of that because you guys, man,
stop playing with me with this shit.
Hey, did you know 2028 was gonna be in LA?
No, I didn't.
I saw something that said 2028 LA Olympics.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like one of them other little games things, but you can fact check me on that right there. But it looks like it's going to be in LA. And so, but it's going to be interesting.
All this barking.
Joel Embiid got the French nationals upset because he ain't get the passport. He got the passport, but he decided to play for the U.S.
Hey, man, look.
Hey, he said my son is American, so I'm going to go.
But think about it though, right? So, would they really be upset if he wasn't Joel Embiid?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thing.
And would they even give him the passport if he wasn't Joel Embiid?
So, let him play.
Because it's interesting. And sometimes they bring up this topic about, all the best players and stuff. A lot of times the European countries try to take credit for African-born players.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Joel Embiid is from Cameroon, right? Yeah. Giannis is Nigerian. Yeah. I think Schroeder might be Nigerian or something like that.
Yeah,
that's like Gambia and all those things. But the thing is that Africa's a continent, not a country.
Right.
So you can't say that all these players are going to represent Africa. Right. Like, hell nah, they'll be in trouble. Right. Yeah, but they ain't even European. Like, y'all taking credit for this, man.
Listen, man, even a lot of the Canadian players who've been good over the past few years, man, all their dads are African American.
Yeah.
Cats from Australia.
Andrew Wiggins, Pops, all them dudes.
And so it's okay. You represent your country for sure. But we have to,
give it a buck.
Yeah, we have to be honest and transparent.
Let's be real, right? Let's say my son Rashad, right? Let's say 15 years from now he grow up and he a stud, right? UAE gonna try to claim, or Philippines, because he can get. Well, they're gonna try to claim something. Let's give it a buck.
Yeah,
that foundation is set from the States. Like that foundation is set from the States. The mental, everything we know, where we pull our knowledge from, is how we know it goes in the States. It ain't no UAE bred basketball player, right? But we'll surely take it. We'll go sit with the sheikh and have some cutter. We're gonna do all that. But that's how it works. But that brings us to kind of the youth part of all this, right? We talked about development, and we always talk about development. We talk about where we are, Hoop Mountain, and we've started to add new things, right? We started to open the door to new things. We were able to help a young man from Kuwait get to Georgetown University. Shout out to that young man. He's a preferred walk-on there. Hopefully he handles his business. We've done our job to help him get there. And so we give him full support and always has full support. But it's opened up opportunities for young men and young women alike too. If you listen to this, we help any and everybody, right? But within that space is a lot of mentorship that has to happen. And we talk about it all the time as coaches when we talk about our family atmosphere. I saw a quote from one of my guys back home. He reposted it on Twitter, on Instagram, I'm sorry. And it just felt so relevant, right? And so many younger coaches want to solidify their reputation by working with quote unquote the best players, the best or whatever. One of the greatest ways to really show if you can make someone better is to take on rookies, rejects, and renegades and help those guys figure it out. And now, me being from that culture, and me being from the Tree of You, Uncle Roland, Team Takeover, Coach Keith, Coach Vest, Coach Honore, Coach people in different places, I know what it means to really take on those rejects, those rookies, those renegades. That don't have nothing to do with drills and skills. They have everything to do with the complete molding of a young man or a young woman, right? And so, let's kind of talk about the state of the world, especially where we are as expats in this type of environment, and how there's an importance for mentorship and how we need to kind of put an emphasis on it as a community around.
I mean, here it's almost like being back in the States as well. Like, there's a lot of people leading young men and young women, in their dream of pursuing basketball, but they're not really invested in that player outside of basketball.
Yeah.
And if that player is not a great talent, there's no way that player is ever going to evolve into a better player if you don't invest in that player. And you invest in somebody with time, energy, and passion and understanding, there just aren't a lot of coaches that are willing to do that because they may be into this based on just as a job, or they may be, some people get burned out. But typically if you get burned out, you regroup, you come back.
Yeah.
That's just because it's in your DNA. And some people don't know how to mentor kids off the court, and we see it every day where we have kids that come from other places that are surprised at some of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And that surprises us because we're like, that's just something we do.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, I'll give you an example, why did you miss practice last week? Oh, because I had a piano performance. What? You played the piano?
Yeah.
You didn't tell us?
Send us the video.
Send us the video so we can post it, and promote you, and, send us a schedule. So now we can work around your piano so you don't miss any basketball, don't miss that. And we can come support you whenever possible, because this is a community, because some of the lessons we teach for basketball go beyond basketball. They go into life and other, activities. And so, doing those little things, are they exhausting? Yes. But you do what you can do when you can do it. And that's just something we do on a regular basis. I know that you do it because it's been instilled in you, because that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what Coach Thomas did, and Coach Jones did. Coach Hay, and that's just a part of being a basketball coach.
Man, I still take some things so personal, like even in a competitive way, when I see what other coaches do and how they treat players. Right. Like there's some coaches that I generally have a disdain for around here because of that. Right. And keep it in place, because some of these guys didn't really play. They didn't play at all, or they didn't play anything significant. So they don't really understand what it feels like to have your dreams, like your hopes, your dreams, everything inside of you as a young kid to feel like, hey, if I don't get this and I fall short of this, like, what the hell am I going to do? And they might be doing everything they can to get everything out of you for the benefit of their space, for the benefit of their company, but they're not doing anything that's going to help you in the long run. They're not doing anything that's really going to make you a better player. They're letting you carry on with the same old habits as long as it's getting them a championship or something here. Or they're just using that power as a coach to just completely break you down as a kid, because they don't already have what it takes to be a star, right? If they aren't already big time, or if they aren't already good, they don't want to take the time to invest in you, right? And so then they treat you differently. Right. But man, you don't know what it feels like to be at home feeling like, hey, I feel like I am good enough. I just need somebody to help me. Yeah.
Or you just don't want to feel like an outcast.
Yeah.
You don't want to be at practice and you're on one end of the court and everybody next to you are of lesser talent than people on the other court.
Yeah.
And so, the thing is, it's one thing to do that if the coaches are showing everybody equal love and they're bringing you along at your pace. But you got to treat everybody the same.
Yep.
Will everybody be treated equally? Probably not, because this is sports. But everybody should be treated fair.
Yeah.
And that's just...
It's a respect there.
Yeah.
Like you can respect everybody the same. And even the people that play basketball is not some secret. Even your players know who the top dog is on the squad.
Yep.
Right? Like they know, like, yo, like you gonna take us to the spot. You gotta take us there. And they cool with that because it's a pecking order with everything. That's just the way it is with athletics, right? But man, like these kids, you really got to, there's some kids that play with us that they know that they don't have a future in basketball. But the reason why they keep coming back is because we may know that too, but we know that they can get better at it.
Correct.
And they can get better within their space, and we push them to what that space is. And then we tell them how they can use what we're teaching them to help them if they want to be a pastry chef.
Yep.
To help them if they want to be an engineer here or to do this and do that. And we can't skip over those lessons because there's a small group of kids that's going to play college. There's an even smaller group of kids that's going to go on to be professionals. And we got to make sure that all of those kids got what they need to live and be productive on those space, man. So, and then from my perspective, as somebody who now has a family, and I give a lot to other kids, right? And still got to make sure I come home and don't like give my family, my son and my wife, just a little bit of what's left in the tank, right? That is, as you said, their burnout space, right? That'll come around even quicker, right? But what I do appreciate is that we have really great families.
Yep.
And so they understand the space when you might be like, yo, we ain't doing nothing this week. We got to just get away.
Yep.
And they be like, yeah, you guys deserve it, right? Or they'll come with something and be like, hey, here's a free movie on us or whatever it is like that. That's something that we appreciate too.
Right.
And that's something where it's a boomerang effect. What we give is just coming back to us because it's just naturally done that way. And so make sure you keep going like that. If you're a coach, hold on your part of the bargain, my dog. Like take care of these youth, man. They're here for that. But hey, episode 1, we wasn't sure how we was gonna get here, but we got it. We got it.
Listen, they bridging the gap. They bridging the gap. They.
Yes, sir. And you guys know how we always end the pod. We always end it with a little post game wrap up.
Yep.
I got one. I got mine from Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Right. It fits in right in theme with everything. And so I don't know the cadence he hit with this. I can't remember the song. I think it might be from The Heart Part 4 maybe. But it goes, I know if I'm generous at the heart, I don't need recognition. The way I'm rewarded, well, that's God's decision. Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said it better. Right? Because we talked about it earlier too. There's a lot of people that may do stuff and don't want anybody to see it.
Yep.
Right? Because there are a lot of things that we do behind the scenes that we don't share. Yep. Right? And it doesn't matter if anybody sees it, and we're going to give, right? But there's only one person that needs to see it. It's me, the person I give it to, and then we let God take care of everything else. Sure. And so that's what I'm wrapping it up with. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. The way I'm rewarded, well, that's God's decision. Yeah.
I need to put that on my wall. I like that. Yeah. I like that. For me, it's it's a little pertaining to what's been going on in the news, a hot topic in this around college football. This is about Mel Tucker from Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? So
man, she didn't got seated.
So there's a lot of a lot of hearsay about what actually happened, his side of the story, her side of the story. We may never know, but I can say that he lost his head coaching job at a Power 5 school and $80 million, right? And potentially his family, right? And so my thing is like a couple things. Number one is keep your personal life personal.
Damn,
you know what I mean? Keep your personal life personal. What you do in your personal life, you don't need to share that with everybody. You know what I mean? And in his particular case, he needed to make sure he didn't, as we say, don't crap where you eat. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, like,
don't shit where you eat.
Don't
man.
shit where you eat. And the thing is, like, just understand of course there's temptations out there and we all make mistakes, but you have to understand, look at the big picture. There's more at stake than just your own personal well-being. We're talking about future head coaches, that are African American. We're talking about your children, your family, and just in general, like people working with schools that are working with people in high authoritative positions that are being preyed upon sometimes. You know what I mean? So there's a lot at stake here, and you're a high profile person. You got to understand the job that you have. It's more than just the 9 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So keep your personal life personal.
Yeah. See, that also, it just popped in. Humility. Like, I don't always like the idea of somebody telling somebody else, yo, be humble, because at some points you may look at it like, why are you so brazen about me being humble? Like, are you intimidated by my confidence? Well, when you get to a certain space of power, recognition, control, success, you need something to keep you level-headed and grounded. So you can always remember what is at stake if you mess up and where you're going to go back to if you go too far. Because sometimes you get to that space where you're on top of the world, you feel invincible. And you think, hey, man, I'm big dog at state. I done got 80 mil. I done did this and that. And like, can't touch me.
Listen, man, sometimes you lose sense of reality. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
it's real.
It's real. You get
It's real.
that kind of money, that kind of power.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
tough.
don't worry. When we get the money, we ain't going to change too much. Just the phone number. That's the phone number. It's a little less Instagram. But BTG Nation, you know what it is. Young OG here. Episode 77, season 4, episode 1. As always, keep it real, keep it simple, and keep
Player and coach, the brother to brother. They both got views that you need to discover. From sports, current events to just life talk. Whether you on a fast break or a nice walk, gotta tune in. You already know, G. This BTG Nation and you one of the homies. Just tune in. You already know, G. BTG Nation, the other ones in the nosebleeds.